Jessica.
Hi, I'm Christeena.
And you're watching Game of Tomes.
Tomes.
Today we're going to be doing the
Bookish Academy Awards.
Come on down. Created by?
I don't know.
Oh, hi. Also, we have our children with us today.
This is Abe.
Abram. And Brett's around here somewhere. You might see him later in the video.
Yeah. He might make an appearance.
You're wreaking havoc. Stop.
I know.
No.
It would be nice.
Yeah. No. Alright.
We have angry children.
Okay, we first saw this video after we saw Sam from Thoughts on Tomes do it, and she did her own modified version of this tag, and she linked Bookadoodles, and so we checked out her video, and we're going to be doing her tag. We'll link both of those videos down below.
Yeah.
So this tag takes normal, like, Academy Awards categories for movies, and she has changed them into categories for books. All the books that we're talking about are going to be books that we have read this year.
Yeah.
2016. Also, we just recently started our channel in October, so we haven't had a chance to talk about some of these books that we would have had we had a channel all this year. All right,
Let's get started.
The first category is Best Actor, which has been changed into Best Male Protagonist. My favorite male protagonist this year was Jonathan Strange. He's high on life and love, especially in the television show. Like, I combine in my mind, like, book Jonathan and television Jonathan in my head, and it, like, creates this really awesome person that I really want to just, like, be friends with. Yeah. What was your best male protagonist?
Oh, I picked Mark Watney from
good
The
choice.
Martian.
Yeah.
Because he's so sarcastic, but also, like, to be stuck on Mars is a very, like, bleak thing.
Yeah.
And his attitude about it and stuff, like, and the movie was pretty good, too. I really did enjoy the movie.
And the science in it was...
There's a lot of science in it.
But it was, like, the science in it was all something that we have the potential to do in the future.
Yeah.
But that it was still science fiction, and that he took some liberties with some things. Anyway, it was a really good book, and I really like Mark Watney.
The science in it wasn't overwhelming either.
Right.
For people who might be kind of scared to pick it up because of, like, the scientific blah, blah, blah. But it's not... I really, really liked him. He persevered through a really hard time. His ingenuity was really something. I mean, like, really something. And he made a lot of jokes and made light of his own bleak situation, and it was really funny.
Yeah, cool. Best Actress, which translates to Best Female Protagonist. Who's your favorite?
I picked Suki Go from The Night Circus because
that's a good one.
I just fell in love with her.
Me too. And in the book, her background is like, she tells about the background, like, you find out what happens to her, but that story is kind of left untold, and it's like, you want to know exactly.
I think that's a big reason of, like, why I've just, like, fallen for her, is I'm just like, I want to know. But because, like, she's there, and she knows everything, but she's in the background until, like, the time comes where she's needed.
Yeah.
And I thought she was going to end up being a bad person, and she wasn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, love her.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Who was yours?
I would have to say Catelyn Stark in A Storm of Swords. Like, all this tragedy has happened to her, and she's going to kick some A in order to, and I can't say to do what because it's a spoiler.
Right, yeah.
And Storm of Swords is, I think, the third book in the series. But she goes through some stuff, and what happens to her at the end is just like, what? And in Feast for Crows, she's, like, not there, and I'm like, why? But she makes an appearance at the end, and I'm really excited to see where her story goes in A Dance with Dragons. Best Cinematography is translated to Best Plot Twist. What's your favorite plot twist?
Okay, mine is actually Gone Girl, because that one was... I hadn't seen the movie, and the book was fairly kind of recent.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of hype about it, and when I read it, I was honestly blown away. Like, I didn't expect at all. So that one for me was the one I remember being like... like, the most shocked about. I was like,
it is a pretty epic plot twist. I was spoiled for that plot twist. And so the whole time,
it kind of like,
it was kind of dragging.
if you're spoiled, I think it makes it.
Like, I was just watching the news and they talked about it, and I was like,
The news!
I was watching the news. Mine is Clockwork Princess, which is the last book in the Infernal Devices series. How she ended that book was really cool, I thought.
Yeah.
And also, the epilogue was, like, really epic, and it just was, like, not something I was ever expecting.
Yeah, me either.
And I just thought it was a really creative book. And
I really enjoyed that one a lot.
Me too. Best costume design translates into best book cover. What was your favorite book cover?
Mine is actually Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really like the coloring of it, and I especially like the back.
Like the Hufflepuff colors? You're like, oh.
I didn't love the book, but
Yeah, me
I
neither.
do really like the cover of it. I thought it was really pretty. And
I thought it was kind of weird.
it's kind of like a snitch, but it's kind of like a nest, and
It's a snitch nest. Mine, one of my favorite covers would have to be The Miniaturist, which we're currently reading for book club. It's a weird story. We'll talk about it in our wrap up.
yeah, I haven't started it yet. I need to.
But yeah, I just love this cover. There's like snowy.
Yeah.
It's 17th century Amsterdam. She's got a parakeet named Peebo. And that's got a pretty spine too. I think the cover is the reason why I chose it, honestly, because I was just like, wow, that's a pretty cover. I mean, that's the reason I looked at it, and then I read the synopsis.
Just so you know, book club, that's why she picked it.
Best supporting actress and actor, which translates to best male and female sidekick. Okay, we got the same answers, and I kind of cheated a little bit, because I said Bailey and then Poppet and Widget.
Like you included them as like one person.
Yeah, but they're brother and sister, they're twins. Poppet and Widget are.
It's hard to say Poppet and Widget without saying Bailey.
Yeah, because Bailey is so much part of their story.
Yeah.
I think this is in the top 2 of my favorite side character stories.
You didn't expect them to really be that involved, and then they are, and actually, they're pretty bad A's.
We can't talk too much about them without spoiling it.
Yeah.
But The Night Circus is one of our favorite books of all time, I think.
Yes. We did a review and a discussion on it, so if you are interested, go check out those videos.
Or if you've read it and you want to discuss, then you can watch the discussion.
Let us know.
Okay. Best original screenplay or most unique plot/world. Did we also have the same answer for this? Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. One of my favorite books of all time. I read it kind of towards the beginning of this year. I can't wait to read it again, honestly. I really want to read it again.
Because you said it was so good, I read it. And it really was. The idea of it and the plot I thought was like really unique.
Yes.
And even like the world that he lives in was really different.
So it was kind of a dystopian America where the government's kind of gone to crap and everyone has sort of, which is so cool. Okay. So everyone is in this virtual reality world that is very lifelike, and so people start interacting within the virtual world.
Like, that's how kids go to school.
Yeah, instead of the real world. So, like, this year, virtual reality has started to, like, take
hold.
off.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ooh, it's starting. Best adapted screenplay or best book to movie adaptation.
Okay, I almost picked one and then I switched because I wasn't sure. I wanted to say Fantastic Beasts, but the book isn't really like...
That makes sense.
That was my first go-to because the movie was so good.
I really enjoyed it.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
But I was kind of on the fence if I should say that or not because the book is just a list of the creatures, you know?
I think it counts.
So, that was my first pick. And
okay, but you changed it to what?
I did change it. Oh, yeah, I changed it to The Martian.
Oh, yeah.
Really good, and I felt like they stuck really close to it. So.
And I thought Matt Damon did a really good job in the part.
Yeah, definitely.
They
he
chose
really
a good actor. Okay, so Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, it's not a movie.
Yeah.
But it's a TV show, and it was a really big experience that I had listening to the book. What is it? Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's nap time. That's what it is. The TV show was so good that it was almost like the book was its companion instead of the other way around. They took a huge tome, which was 32 hours of audiobook that I listened to, and condensed it down to 7 hours, and I thought they did a better job.
Yeah.
It was just like, watching it was like Megan said in our review video, this is how it was supposed to be, you know, a lot of the times. I have a discussion and a review video on that. We'll link that down below as well.
Yep.
Okay. Best animated feature or a book that would work well in animated format.
I haven't read the whole thing, but I picked The Tales of Beetle the Bard.
Oh, cool.
Because I thought, like, in the little animated,
tales.
like, for kids, you know, like, I think that would be really cute. I think there would be more adults watching it than there would be kids, but I could see this in animated form.
Absolutely.
So I was like, yeah.
Good job. That's
I haven't finished the whole book, but yeah, I pick it.
Well, you plan to. You're currently reading it?
Yeah, yes.
For this one, I say The Immortal Nicholas by Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck is kind of a hard pill to swallow in real life, but this story I thought was really good. I actually read it in July, but it's a Christmas story. My husband wanted to read it, and he got it, and that's why I read it in July, because I thought it sounded really interesting. But what it does is take the life of Jesus Christ and his birth and death and combine it with the story of Santa Claus, and it kind of explains why Santa is immortal and how he came to be by tying the religious text to the secular story of Santa in a really fun way. I really liked that book. It was good.
That sounds like I could see it in animated form.
Best director, a writer that you discovered for the first time.
This one was kind of hard for me because I just kind of read books that other people had said were good, and then I didn't really read any other books by that author, even though I did like that book. So, I don't know. The person I picked, though, was George R.R. Martin, because I read a Game of Thrones. I also watched the whole TV show this year. And I definitely plan on reading more by him, for sure, obviously. I mean, I've heard of him before, but I didn't ever actually, read him until this year.
Yeah.
So, I kind of picked him.
Okay, well, I also picked a author who I've only read one book by, and that would be Neil Gaiman. After I read Stardust, I decided that I really should read more Gaiman, and so that's a goal that I have for 2017, is to read more Gaiman books, and I'm really excited to do so.
Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't read anything by him.
Yeah.
I've heard of him, but...
And it seems like lately a lot of people have been talking about Gaiman on BookTube, and so I kind of want to join the conversation.
Yeah. Cool.
Best visual effects or best action in a book.
We actually had the same answer for this one. It was a book club book, surprise.
Yeah.
We ended up really enjoying it. Bird Box by Josh Malerman. We have a review and a discussion on this as well, so if you would like to go check it out, check it out. The action in this was, I thought, really good because the whole story is told through a woman who's blindfolded, so she's using all of her other senses to describe everything. It's really creepy. You never know what truly is out there because, you can't see it, so you have to rely on everything else.
Well, if you look outside, you will see something
that makes you go,
kill yourself or the people around you. Or others,
yeah. My heart was like, okay, what is it? What is it? What is it? You know? So,
we both really liked it.
Yeah, really, really good.
Best musical score or best music in a book-to-movie adaptation. So my answer for this would be The Great Gatsby. Specifically, the version directed by Baz Luhrmann. They take modern music and mix it with jazz music, and what it does, I think, is trying to kind of give you a sense of how in the 30s they would have felt listening to jazz music by combining that with rap and R&B and soul.
I haven't seen it, so.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll let you borrow it then.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's a really good movie.
I've heard that it's really good.
Yeah. So that's probably one of my favorite ever book-to-movie adaptations.
I don't really have one because I didn't really watch any this year except for Fantastic Beasts. I don't really ever pay attention to music in movies very much.
Yeah.
And I just can't really, honestly, I just can't think of any. I'll just ditto Jessica's.
No, you won't. You haven't watched it yet.
After I watch it, I'll ditto Jessica's.
Okay. Best short film or best novella or short book. Would you like to go first? Go first.
Sure. I picked The Boomer. I talked about this once before. I picked this up very cheap at a local used bookseller, and it's got illustrations. It's super short. I read it in 5 minutes. It's a short story about a guy who's simply named the Boomer and his life, basically, of like very short glimpses of his life growing up, and it's kind of more of an intellectual, like, he has it all, but he ends up not happy in the end kind of thing. That's what I took from it. And I actually really did enjoy it, and it's beautiful, so I'm keeping it.
Cool. Okay, my answer is This One Summer by Mariko and Jillian Tamaki. It's actually a graphic novel that I read in one, maybe 2 sittings, and it's about these 2 girls who spend the summer together, and it's sort of like about the transition from being a girl to being a woman, and like how hard that transition can be for some people, like, and confusing, you know, coming to terms with the fact that you're growing up. It was good. It was a good book.
Good.
I'm glad I read it. It's not like one of my favorites ever, but I liked it.
It was good.
Yeah.
Good.
Best Picture or Best Standalone.
I picked One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. We have a review and discussion on this one too.
It's really good.
We both loved it, and I love it.
Yeah.
Love this book.
Yes.
It's one of my all-time faves. It's about a guy in a psychiatric ward and his story of a newcomer trying to kind of, you know, buck the system and stand up for the guys. But it's so much more than that. It's so good.
So I kind of want to say Ready Player One for the reasons Aqua mentioned. But, yeah, read a lot of good standalone. Okay, Best Documentary or Best Historical Fiction or Nonfiction.
I actually picked The Book Thief by Marcus Cusack. I really, really enjoyed it, and it's definitely one of my all-time favorites.
For this one, I went with nonfiction. I read one nonfiction book this year. I'd kind of like to read more in the future. So the one I read was The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. It's about how the little changes in your mind, like you can flip a switch and then you can radically change your whole life by creating habits for yourself that can make a big impact in your personality, in the way you operate. And he gives in this story a lot of examples of people who have done just that. And, I really thought it was really good, and it was really inspiring, and I would definitely recommend this to anybody. The only thing I have to say is that it might be kind of repetitive, just a little bit. Like, he might tell you what he's going to talk about, and then he talks about it, and so it's like, okay, that's easy to get over. And also the stories that he tells are kind of a little bit on the narrative side, so it's not very dry and boring. It was very interesting to read.
Good.
And I would suggest that to anyone looking for a nonfiction book, or someone who, I don't know, wants to quit smoking or wants their business to operate better or improve their memory or anything like that. Like, it's a really good book.
For anybody who wants to improve themselves in any aspect, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Love it. You did a good job. So that was it. That was our Bookish Academy Award.
Da-da-da-da, with our children.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for watching. If you've done one, let us know. Or if you have a favorite of this year or in any category, just let's discuss it.
Come be our friends. I'm Jess, Game of Tomes on Twitter.
And I'm Christeena, GOT.
And we hope you're reading a great book.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, now you can hit the bongo. And also, he's trying to get past.
Look at the awkwardness of kids. Look at how do I, Mom, man.
Best male protagonist. The first category is my baby loves you. Yay!